Hey there, everybody. Bridget Lynn Dolgoff, Conscious of Economics. Yes, I got all my hair chopped off. Now it's kind of more like a nest. Anyway, so I just kind of want to go over a few things. We've got the garden here in the background, whether you can see it or not. But so we just want to talk about a couple things. So the 15-year-old horse poo-poo, it has the microbes from the horses that pooped it, that went into the soil and changed into like a different kind of microbe that went from like a gut microbe that evolved into a dirt microbe. And then there was more microbes that came up into the poop to break it down. Also, that horse poop had information in it from 15 years ago. It had information about what the water was like in the area, what the food was like in the area, the health and condition of the animal, the environment, what was going on in the environment. So when you start to put those microbes, right, and then they combined with other microbes in the soil, and they start to what I call conflict resolution. So the more data or information, or for younger people, the more, putting microbes and certain kinds of organic materials together to be broken down by microbes is like creating a hard drive on a computer. And then everything that you add into it is like an application, an app, or a plugin that actually provides, more information and data and makes the system run better. So things that can happen due to, microbes coming together in a good way in the soils and stuff. They can eat up heavy metals, which we're getting a lot of those from the chemtrails. They can eat up radioactive material. Fungi really loves radioactive material and heavy metals. But you have to have a humus, moist soil, in order to cultivate mycelium. So you have to, at some point in time, build it. So you start creating conflict resolution microbes that see certain issues that are coming down in the air or in the, say, water that's in their environment, and they start to resolve the problems. And if there's any negative microbes, they get rid of them. They convert them back to positive, back to the whole tribe. So when we're dealing with inflammation that becomes long-term different diseases like cancer, what happens is the microbes leave the center of the cell, and the cell can no longer hold water, absorb nutrient, get rid of the waste. Lots of different things happen. And once the microbes leave the cell, they produce a substance, which is like microbial poo-poo, gone when the microbes go haywire, because they're not contained in an environment and they don't have a specific job, which is lactic acid. So then our systems become very acidy, which adds to the problem of the inflammation. So once the red cell starts to become inflamed, which you can have red blood cell heart attacks, is that they start to get sticky, the cell collapses, and then it won't hold anything until you can get microbes back in there that are positive and can do the job. So this is why having, microbial rich guts are super important for animals and people and the soil and the water and the air, because it produces important microbes that we need. Microbes were here before anything else was here on this planet. So there's no way you're going to get around that. Okay, so we're lucky here because we have well water, 800 feet deep. We're in the desert. So I don't have to worry about chlorinated water. In the city, it's hard to get around. And, water that has fluoride in it, you can off-gas it, though. Say you can get a bucket, I'd say like stainless steel bucket or something like that. Avoid plastic because of BPAs. Those are not good for microbes, and they're not good for humans, and it produces a lot of estrogen, forced estrogen, which is not good for animals, especially frogs and insects and humans. and put it into a bucket, and then you can off gas it, the chlorine and other stuff that may be in it for a few days, and then you can re-siphon it into your garden. And you know, if you built a platform and you put the container on a platform, if it had a filler, you know, turn on your spigot, goes into your container, you let it off gas, you know, just keep filling it up, and then let it off gas for a couple days, and then have a gravity fed water, you know, and you could sprinkler your garden naturally. So just keep it filled. And then, you know, make sure that sun, you know, make sure that wherever you put that container, that it has direct sunlight. You know, you could even collect rainwater if you wanted to, but you know, you need direct sunlight in that container, because the sun helps to clean up a lot of the stuff in it, and it injects energy into it. And it also is one of the key components is sunlight as far as nutrient, and we don't get enough of it. So fourth phase of water guy, he was talking on his videos about how sunlight plays a key role, and that you have to have sunlight. Sunlight would have been in waterways, and we would have drank liquid sunlight in the water. This is how we would have gotten sunlight into our body. Nutrient-based sunlight, I guess. Helps with a positive and a negative, you know, electrons and stuff like that inside of our systems. We have, you know, proteins that have to switch, that switch on, switch off. Those are charges. So there's a lot of components that you need for those charges to happen. So the other thing too is that, you know, then, you know, that's why your food does so well in sunlight, you know, when you water it, and it has a good combo because you're eating sunlight. So you're eating microbes that are in your food that you grow, which are good for your gut, for animals and everything else. And then you're also getting the sunlight directly from the plant, or sunlight turned into nutrient, chlorophyll. And so you're getting a lot of components. And so I tell people, you know, you should try to at least grow 20% of your food annually, which is not even hard in snow. Just get yourself some winter farming books and get yourself a greenhouse. Okay, so there was something else I think I wanted to glaze over about the garden. Maybe that's about it. But anyway, so I'm having a nice cool drink. It was supposed to be 75 today, but I don't think it's going to get above 60. Beautiful natural clouds you can see in the background. No chemtrails in sight yet. So enjoying the loveliness of the natural clouds. The garden, and just really excited. So this week I'm going to direct seed. I've got all kinds of amazing native, what did Greg call them? We're going to call them indigenous. No, he called them heritage seeds. So I've got heritage seeds, which are the oldest seeds on the planet. I've got some heirloom seeds, and which is the next best. And so I'm going to direct plant. And so when things start to come up, then I'll probably do another video to show you how I decided to plant the garden. Okay, anyway, today we're finishing putting the fence up so all the little guys can't get in there. And next will be direct seeding. And when they start to spread up, we'll have a video. All right, thank you. Thank you for watching my channel. Thank you for growing your own food. Thank you for... this is the biggest thing that I wanted to talk about was I love to source things because it's free. Usually it just takes labor. You can go to construction sites to do gardens. Sometimes they have like remodel places. They have tons of wood, fencing, pavers, and you know, contractors don't want to pay to get rid of that stuff. So if you're around, it's good to ask them. And you can collect yourself a whole bunch of stuff that you can reuse. And I like to source out horse poop, cow poop, you know, in areas where I'm at. Because you want it in the same environment in which it was. Because see, these microbes know from the poop, they know about the information of the area. So they've already adapted and are doing conflict resolution to the negatives into the positives. So they're already medicine, right? It's already a medicine for your area. In biodynamics, in which, you know, I kind of had my formal training, we don't like to bring anything in because anything can be diseased and it can have bugs, and it can have all kinds of stuff. So if you already have an area that's weak, the more you bring in, the more that you buy plants that are already growing. A lot of times those things have bugs, and how the soil is produced and the type of nutrient that they put in them is not natural. It's not biological nutrient. So it has bad fertilizers, pesticides, and all kinds of stuff. So you start dragging this stuff in from other areas, or say from the store, or compost in a bag and all this other stuff. You're potentially going to really harm your environment. And it's not good stuff anyway. So even if it takes you longer to go around your hood and maybe outlining areas and find some farms and things like that, and see if you can naturally source out what you need, in the long run, it's going to be a lot healthier for your land, for the environment, for the good of all. And it's also going to produce a way better food. So, so I'm kind of a stickler about sourcing. And I work with whatever I can find. So that's it. Anyway, have a great day. Happy Memorial Weekend. And I will see you soon. Bye-bye.